she revealed this when she found a job in the legal world. This is how she described it in her own words. I'll go ahead and play it and get your reaction.
When I first became a public defender, I had no criminal defense experience. And I walked in and I told my boss, Charlie, I said, listen, you should hire me. He said, why? I said, because I'm Black. Charlie looked at me like I was crazy. And I said, let me tell you something. When I walk in, I'm going to walk in with a level of rapport and understanding that maybe some of my other colleagues will not. Charlie offered me my job and I worked my butt off and I worked really, really hard for all of my clients, not just those that look like me. And that is what it looks like to serve.
Maybe in the end she was qualified for that job. What do you think of that story and the way she recalls it?
Well, you can't have it both ways, and Jasmine and I just don't see the world the same way. I don't want to walk in a room and get a job because I'm Black. I want to walk in a room and get a job because I'm qualified, because I am educated, because I have hard work, grit, determination, because I believe in this country. That's why I am a United States congressman in a white majority district that President Trump would have won by 20 points, and I just won by 27 points. And the reason is because of this. I am literally living Dr. Martin Luther King's dream by being judged not by the color of my skin, but by the content of my character. The people in my district don't see color. They see somebody that's going to represent this district to the best of their ability, regardless of what they look like. I never want to be demeaned for what I have done and the sacrifice that I have made for this country just because of the way I look. I want to be hired because of my acumen and my ability, and I'll end with this. I see myself as an American. I'm a proud husband. I am a father. I am a veteran. I am an educated man. I am a follower of Christ, and I'm also a Black man. I am very proud of it. But I am all those things before that, because the number one thing for me is being an American, and I love all my fellow Americans regardless of race, religion, color, or creed, and we all should be treated fairly. Nobody wants a job based on the way they look. They want a job based on their abilities.
Leslie Hunt, Mark.
MSNBC host Joy Reid has been busy boasting about her biggest achievements, and that is being a DEI pick.
As many times as I have been called DEI or an affirmative action baby and all that, you know what I never get? Mad. Because I actually am very much in favor of DEI. I don't take that as an insult because I understand that that means that I'm just damn excellent and innovative. And yeah, I am DEI. I'm bringing diversity, and that's bringing something great. You're not insulting me. If you say, oh, you're an affirmative action person that got into Harvard, I'm like, yeah, I got into Harvard with affirmative action, and Yale, and Brown, and also, Vassar, in the University of Denver.
Oh my God.
Because I'm Black and y'all racist.
Crazy. Every hires are called out for what they are, like when Donald Trump was asked if Kamala Harris was a DEI hire.
Some of your own supporters, including Republicans on Capitol Hill, have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first Black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket, as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
diversity, equity, and inclusion?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
give me a
literally
definition
the words.
then. Would you give me a definition?
DEI.
Give me a definition.
Sir, I'm asking you a question.
Woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
Of course, the fair and unbiased coverage that we usually get on the mainstream media. If we need any more evidence of why no one really trusts the media anymore, let's just look at how CBS is covering the alleged MS-13 gang member and human trafficker, Kilmer Albrego Garcia. This is what went to air from CBS's interview with Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem about the case.
And the one thing that we will continue to do is to make sure that he doesn't walk free in the United States of America.
Okay, and this is what CBS deliberately cut out according to Kristi Noem.
This individual was a known human smuggler, a MS-13 gang member, an individual who was a wife beater, and someone who was so perverted that he solicited nude photos from minors, and even his fellow human traffickers told him to knock it off. He was so sick in what he was doing and how he was treating small children. So he needs to never be in the United States of America, and our administration is making sure we're doing all that we can to bring him to justice.
Well said. So CBS cut out those crucial details. And why would they do that? Is it to protect this man? Because the media narrative around him, around this alleged wife beater, is that he's a Maryland father. Now, Kristi Noem has called this out in a statement. She wrote, "This morning I joined CBS to report the facts about Kilmer Abrego Garcia. Instead, CBS shamefully edited the interview to whitewash the truth about this MS-13 gang member and the threat he poses to American public safety." And you'd think that CBS would have learnt from its disastrous mistake around editing the 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris last year to make her sound sharper than she really was.
It seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We are not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
Very different answer, and that cost CBS $16 million. And former Paramount executive Shari Redstone recently told the New York Times that they essentially rushed to settle because they had concerns over other interviews that had been edited and then put to air, such as a 2023 interview with Joe Biden, where staff at the time knew that Joe Biden was just so out of it, he needed to be prompted just to answer questions. Well, joining us now is Alex Stein, host of Blaze TV's Primetime with Alex Stein. Alex, it is great to see you. So just looking back at CBS and the track record, they've covered for Joe Biden, they've covered for Kamala Harris, and now it appears as though they are covering for Kilmer Garcia.
Well, you know, Kristi Noem calling out the fact that Kilmer Abrego Garcia was texting underage children, soliciting sexual photos from them. It's an incredibly sick thing, and he deserves to be in jail, especially not a free man in this country. And you see how the media paints him as just a man from Maryland. It shows you how dishonest our media has become in this country. And sadly, people care more about protecting a literal person that is a child predator than actually getting rid of the illegal immigrants or the cartel members and making our country safer. So it's really sad that a person with the type of track record that Kilmer Abrego Garcia has, turning him into a hero. But you know, it's not a surprise from the left or from, you know, the radical media for doing this. You know, they will use any puppet they can to make Donald Trump look bad.
Not a surprise. We also played Joy Reid's latest rant, and this time it wasn't aimed at Donald Trump. This was all about herself, boasting about being a DEI pick. Look, I think if companies need reminding of why DEI is such a disaster, they can really look at that clip, because I think Joy Reid has just proved that. What did you make of it?
Well, obviously, Joy Reid is a DEI hire, and I'll give her a little credit for admitting it, but this is why it's actually a horrible issue, because American exceptionalism is dead. People know that they will make it in life. They will get an automatic shortcut based on the color of their skin, and that's very demoralizing for men, for white men especially, that are putting in the hard work and seeing people like Kamala Harris, you know, become vice president, seeing people like Joy Reid get a job at a major network. So it's sad that we don't live in a country that is based on merit. Instead, we have a country that you get shortcuts based on the color of your skin. And once again, Joy Reid, we want to help marginalized people. We're not against helping marginalized people, but not at the expense of hardworking Americans that have put in the work, that have the talent, and that would probably be more successful in those roles, especially when it comes to Vice President of the United States and Kamala Harris.
Together we make history, not erase it. To me, the values of diversity, equality, inclusion are literally, and that's not kidding, the core strengths of America. That's why I'm proud to have the most diverse administration in history. It taps into the full talents of our country and starts at the top with the vice president.
Come on, pal. Tell me something I don't know.